Hey, thank you for joining us today. We have Tim Mangold with Pivotal Real Estate joining us. We've been a long-term client of yours, or hold on, vice versa.
You've been a client of mine.
I have, yeah. So actually, Tim has been, I would consider him, one, a good friend, two, a business, I would say, kind of consultant when it comes to marketing that we've been able to leverage over the course of the last 2 years. So today's point of today is really kind of, I want Tim to give the audience some insight around why would you hire a transaction coordinator, because a lot of times, you know, somebody's really at the cusp of making that decision, and having somebody that's been using a coordinator for some time or hearing from somebody that's been using a coordinator for some time can potentially get them to make that, you know, kind of cross the line and make the decision to ultimately save more time, save money, and save the hassle, right, of doing all the stuff you shouldn't be doing if you're trying to grow a real business.
Sure.
So, Tim, if you can, you know, quick intro and then kind of tell us a little bit about your business and ultimately why did you hire Moncord?
Absolutely. I'll dive right in. I'll give, you know, a behind the curtain look. So first year in real estate, solo agent, did 9 transactions. Second year we did 18 transactions. This year we're on track to do 50. That's our goal. We've closed 19 year to date, and we've already surpassed the units and the volume that we did last year. Now, certainly there's a lot of things that are attributed, you know, we contribute for that growth. A chunk of that is Moncord. And so being able to outsource, what I say is the worst part of the job, is all the paperwork and the contracts and being in compliance with your office and, you know, not having your checks get held up because you don't have your whatever documents submitted, which I don't know about for any of the people watching, was a huge issue for me. Not necessarily doing the task, but having that mental loop that was open, causing stress, always kind of dragging around with me, hey, do I gotta do this, do that? And so now with Moncord, it's truly a weight off my shoulders. It has allowed us to do more transactions. I mean, it's as simple as mutual, boom, send it to Moncord, our rep there, and they're sending everything out to our clients, to escrow, to the listing side, the buyer side, you know, the other side of the deal. And it's just been amazing. So I think a lot of people either watching this are going to be probably current clients, or maybe people who are unhappy. So maybe there's some specific questionings, but I mean, I could go for days about Moncord.
Yeah, and want to say, and be clear, unhappy with their current situation, right?
Right.
Yeah. I would hope that nobody's unhappy with us, but no, that's good. And I know, I mean, gosh, I've been watching your journey over the course of the last couple of years, and the amount of growth you guys have been able to walk into, and then ultimately, I think even today, sustain is pretty remarkable, man. Because considering your guys' entry point into real estate, I remember when we first started. You know, you were deciding, am I going to go off-market property focus? Am I going to go new time home buyer or new time buyers, or what do we call
First time home buyers.
First time home buyers nowadays. I forget. First time home buyers. Are we looking at specific niches within a region, geographically? Is it Bellevue? Is it, you know, wherever the case may be? And you were scattered a little bit, and then over the course, and I was like, wow, if you don't figure it out really quick, the business is just going to come. And sure enough, you short it all up. And man, I'm really excited to see the growth, because we're part of that, right? In the sense that we get to see it as it's coming in. We're like, wow, Tim is killing it. So thank you again for, you know, great response, man. I appreciate that. So in kind of closing this out, what kind of tip could you give, or some advice could you give to the audience that is currently looking to hire a coordinator? Ultimately hire Moncord, we would hope, right? But at the end of the day, hire a coordinator. Maybe they've been in the business for, you know, many years, 10, 15, 20 years, whatever. They've never done it.
Right. Maybe
they're a new agent looking to, how do I get the best use of my time? What would be a last piece of advice for making that decision, whether it comes from a cost perspective, time, it'd be good to kind of finish.
Yeah, the biggest value for me personally is really more the mental capacity of not having to worry about, you know, am I closing all these open loops in my head about, hey, do I have these files closed out at the office, and you know, all of these things that listing and transaction coordination will take care of for me. And because of that, it allows me to have, you know, a clearer mental space, and also just more time in my day. So very much I'm looking at what is the dollar value per hour of the activities that I'm doing. And I find, I mean, like everybody, hands down, I'm doing $12 an hour work all the time, and I shouldn't be. And part of that was transaction coordination. Right. So outsourcing that was a clear choice. It needed to be done. And then from there, I had to choose who to work with. And one of the problems I ran into is I had met a number of people in the real estate world who at some point had maybe been an agent or they were on a team of some kind, and now they've gone into running their own transaction coordination. We'll call it a business, but truly it wasn't a business. And then I met Alex and Lisa, and you could just see from the minute you interact with them, all the way through their services, that they are a true business. And I wanted to work with someone who I know in 2, 3, 4, 5 years would still be, have their open doors and be able to take our clients and our transactions, because I'm trying to build a long-term relationship.
Right.
And then when I justified the cost, it boils down to, here's the deal. You got $350 for buyer side transaction. Was it $425 for a listing?
Yeah, give or take. Yeah,
give or take. Whatever your pricing structure is, it's going to take you, I always look at it, it's going to take you 100 transactions to justify the expense of a full-time employee. So maybe you're $35,000 to $45,000 full-time employee in-house to do the same work that Moncord could do, and you would have to do 100 transactions just to break even. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer in my opinion, and just outsourcing that has been a huge weight off our shoulders, and it's great. Our clients love it. It's been great. The cost is no-brainer.
Well, thank you for that. Appreciate that. And so thank you everybody for joining us. Hopefully Tim's kind of insights here gave you a little bit of an idea of what it is to work with us. Ultimately, if you haven't made a decision yet to hire a coordinator, maybe hearing this would give you that much more of a reason why to pull the trigger. And whether it's Moncord or somebody else, at the end of the day, find somebody that you can delegate and save time, right? And that's really what we're in the business of, is saving brokers time. So with that said, thank you everybody for your time today, and we'll be in touch, and have a great day. Thank you everybody. Thank you, Tim, for joining us.
Throw my phone number in the notes, 425-205-0791. If you're on the fence, call me. We'll talk off camera.
Thank you for that.
Keep it real.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Have a great day.
All right, later, guys.
Bye.